It's a little bit dark here in the kitchen tonight because it's already dark. It's becoming winter again. So today I had a live day here with a group of students, and we talked about suffering. Suffering in our own system, suffering around us, suffering in our family, suffering where other people are purposefully or unpurposefully, accidentally trying to draw us into their systems and their suffering, how we can take on suffering of other people, but also how we can really be impacted by that, either because we're trying to stay out of other people's suffering or because we're taking on too much of other people's suffering. And the interesting thing is, what in the culture where I grew up in the Netherlands, and I'm guessing it's pretty much a Western cultural thing, is that it's almost a good thing to take. Well, of course, it's a good thing to take care of other people. Of course, it's a good thing to care for and care about other people. But it's almost to a degree that it's better to suffer for other people than to actually take care of yourself. So I'm really curious how that plays out in the culture where you are right now. Because in my culture, there's kind of bonus points for suffering in the name of other people, which is not really what we should be doing because it's actually draining our power. This is one of the biggest power drains. But our entire school childhood, we're taught that taking on other people's problems is a good thing. We learn that that's actually being humble, right? Taking on other people's suffering, taking care of other people, that's good. But taking care of other people by letting go of our own good stuff, right? So it's almost like, well, the more you do with very little and the more you help other people, that's a good thing. Now, this is all installed by the church, all of these beliefs, and it could be different in the culture where you are. But the idea that we have to sacrifice our own happiness because that would be a merit for other people, that's actually one of the biggest power losses. Now, it's very subtle because I know that a lot of you don't purposely do it this way. But then what happens if you're brought up in a culture where this is a big thing is that we actually start to feel guilty. That's what happened to me. I haven't learned that I should sacrifice my own happiness in the name of other people. That's not what I learned as a child. I don't have this pattern too much. By the way, if you've taken my quiz, this is the pig pattern. But the interesting thing is that around me, people then look at me like, who are you? You're shameless. You're just taking up space. You're doing all these things. And people judge you about it. And the interesting thing is, ever so subtly, that's been a huge power drain for me because when I grew up, I wanted nothing more than to be a normal person, to fit in, to adapt. In my family, my father, for instance, always said, well, that other people are stupid doesn't mean you have to be stupid. So, in a way, he was actually trying to protect me from this. But what I heard was, you'll never fit in, don't even try. Which made me even try even harder, right? So I never sacrificed my own power for other people's happiness. But what I did do is I sacrificed my own power in order to hopefully, possibly fit in somehow. Because I was certain that my energy was awful because I took up all that space and nobody else was doing that. Now, all of these patterns are really, really subtle. And if there's a lot going on in the world around us, what we tend to do is we tend to lose our power. And we tend to not show up in business from our true nature, from who we are. And I've seen that happen to many business owners over the past 3 years. There's so much going on around us. We don't know where the next crisis will be coming from. So then what we choose often, even unconsciously, is to lay low, to wait, to think, well, you know what? Let's wait it out a little bit. Let's not take up so much because the world's on fire, so I shouldn't be taking up space with all my beautiful and good things. So all of these things actually help us to lose our power, and that loss of power is actually helping the world into a deeper crisis, if you will, right? I'm not saying you're purposefully so single-handedly ruining the world, but it isn't helping because what the world needs right now is for all of us to actually see through these patterns, be gentle with ourselves, have some compassion for that part of us that loses power so easily, and step into the space that we were meant to step in. These were just my few thoughts for today. If you have anything you would like to add or like to question or your thoughts or your experience, let me know. The world needs you. The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for all of us. And if you want to know more about this, then ask me because there is a link to the new masterclass this Sunday afternoon. So if you want to talk about this with me, show up at the masterclass this Sunday. Ask me for the link. I hope you have a wonderful Friday evening and let me know your thoughts. Bye.